The success of every project in the field of project management is dependent on precise planning, effective execution, and timely completion. The sequencing of activities is an important part of project planning. The systematic process of finding, organizing, and scheduling project tasks in a logical order to guarantee a smooth workflow and timely attainment of project objectives is referred to as sequence activities. Project managers may efficiently manage dependencies, optimize resource allocation, and properly anticipate project deadlines by designing a well structured sequence of tasks. Sequencing activities is a critical component of project management because it allows project teams to navigate the complex web of tasks and deliverables that comprise a project. It entails recognizing the links between various tasks, selecting their sequence of execution, and developing a unified framework that will steer the project from start to finish. Project managers may remove inefficiencies, minimize bottlenecks, and guarantee that the project develops in a logical and coordinated manner by deliberately sequencing operations. Effectively, sequencing activities are critical in project management because they assist in establishing linkages between tasks, recognizing dependencies, and determining the sequence in which they must be completed. This guarantees that each work is started and completed on time, reducing delays and bottlenecks. It enables project managers to efficiently deploy resources. Managers may efficiently schedule resources by understanding the flow of operations, limiting overutilization or underutilization, and optimizing total project productivity. The sequencing of tasks assists in precisely calculating the entire project length. Project managers may construct realistic timetables by understanding work dependencies and their order, allowing stakeholders to have a clear expectations and prevent needless schedule extensions. Let's discuss the key steps in sequencing activities. This begins by listing all the tasks that must be completed to finish the project, breaking down the project into smaller, achievable actions that are explicit and quantifiable. The project manager and team determines the linkages between the activities after they have been discovered. Dependencies can be classified as either required or optional. The nature of the job requires mandatory dependencies, whereas discretionary dependencies are based on best practices or preferences. Using a network diagram provide a visual depiction of the project activities and their dependencies. The most frequent approach is the precedence diagramming method, which depicts the project flow using nodes and arrows. The next step involves determining the logical sequence of the activities by analyzing the dependencies, determining the critical route, which is the longest series of activities that defines the overall time of the project. Next is the estimating the amount of time it will take to accomplish each action using historical data, expert judgment, or other estimation approaches. Recording these times, taking into account the best case, worst case, and most likely cases scenarios, using the activity durations to create a detailed project plan that includes start and completion dates for each activities are some other steps. This timeline should take resource availability, restrictions, and other project specific issues into account. Let's discuss the best practices for effective sequence activities. Involving essential stakeholders in the planning phase of the sequence activities. Their feedback can give vital insights into job dependencies, resource availability, and potential dangers, resulting in more precise sequence decisions. Making the sequencing process easier and using project management software or tools. These tools frequently contain functions for drawing network diagrams, keeping track of dependencies, and generating Gantt charts to visualize project timeframes. throughout the project's lifespan, examining and validating the specified dependencies on a regular basis. As a project moves forward, new dependencies may develop or current ones may alter, necessitating changes to the sequencing. Best practices include considering adding buffer time or slack to the project timeline to account for unexpected delays or adjustments. This enables a more adaptable and resilient project strategy. As the project advances, sequence actions should be regularly checked and modified. Reviewing the project schedule on a regular basis, analyzing dependencies, and altering timescales as appropriate. This guarantees that the project stays on schedule and that any deviations are addressed as soon as possible. See you in the next lecture.